Hello students, once again welcome to Bholanathacademy. In this video students, we are going to see the nomenclature of aldehydes and carboxylic acid. How we are going to name the aldehyde and carboxylic acid students. So students, all the name of aldehydes has been derived from carboxylic acid. Okay students, in nomenclature students, we are going to see two types of nomenclature that is called as, first one is common system and second is IUPAC system. First students, we are going to see that is common system. In common system students, aliphatic aldehyde which containing alkyl group we call as aliphatic aldehydes. Understanding students, the aldehyde which containing alkyl group we call as aliphatic aldehydes are derived from the corresponding common name of the carboxylic acid. So all the name of aldehydes are derived from what? Or in common system students, all the name of aldehyde, that is mostly aliphatic aldehydes, are derived from carboxylic acid. The position of substituents are indicated by Greek alphabet. Now here students, alpha, beta and gamma, these are the Greek alphabets. Understanding students? So here this is the group if they are present at this carbon, that is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon and this is what? Gamma carbon with respect to this aldehyde. This CHO, this is head and this is functional group of aldehyde students, and this COH is the functional group. This is in short we called as CHO, and this is also called as COOH. Understanding, that is carboxylic acid. So students, so this carbon you have to escape. Understanding students, the side of this carbon we call as alpha carbon, and to this carbon students, this is beta carbon and this is what? Gamma carbon. Same way students, in carboxylic acid also students, this is the functional group. COH is the functional group students. So the carbon which is attached to this functional group, that carbon will be alpha carbon, then beta carbon, then gamma carbon. So position of the substituents, if any substituents will attach to this alpha, beta and gamma carbon, we will indicate as alpha, beta and gamma. So position of substituents are indicated by Greek alphabet, that is alpha, beta and gamma. So this is all about common system students. Now students, we are going to see IUPAC system of nomenclature. In aldehyde students, if you want to name the compound E of the alkane, this is the E of the alkane students. E of the alkane is replaced by Al. Here we have replaced E of the alkane is replaced by Al. So the name will be in IUPAC system students will be alkanol. Okay students, in common students, so all the hydrocarbons, mostly in hydrocarbons I have taken what? Aliphatic hydrocarbon, that is called as alkane. So E of the alkane is replaced by Al. The compound obtained we call as what? Alkanol. When if there is a two aldehyde groups, CHO is two aldehyde groups are present in the molecule, the suffix instead of Al we will write dial. Understanding, di means two, Al group is present, that is two aldehyde group we call as dial is added to the name. Understanding students, very simple. To if you want to name in IUPAC system, so E of the alkane is replaced by Al, we call as alkanol. If there is a two aldehyde group students, we call as dial. Now students, when come to in carboxylic acid students, E of the alkane, here the E of the alkane is replaced by oic acid, that is OIC, that is oic acid, we call as alkanoic acid. Understanding students? So if you want to name the carboxylic acid in IUPAC system students, we call as alkanoic acid. Now students, if there is a two carboxylic groups are present, then what happens students? The suffix we are going to use, that is di means two oic groups are present. Two oic is there, that we call as dioic acid. Is then we have to add the suffix. Understanding students? So this way students, you have to name the IUPAC system. We are going to see the some compound. So first compound students, so we will see, since I have already told all the name has been derived from carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid nomenclature we will do first, carboxylic acid, and then students we will see aldehyde. Now first compound students that we are going to see, that is called as, yes students, since carboxylic acid and aldehyde all are containing carbonyl group. Carbon is always having 4 valency. Out of 4 students, 2 valencies is occupied by oxygen, and here 2 valencies are there. Since it is acid, so we have to use OH. So since students, here out of these 2 valency, 1 valency I have already occupied by hydroxyl group, 1 valency I am going to replace by hydrogen. Okay students, since this acid is containing only 1 carbon, okay students, this you can also represent like this students, HCOOH. Okay students, so in students, when you want to name this compound carboxylic acid in common system students, if you want to name, we call as formic acid. Formic means 1 carbon containing carboxylic acid, we call as formic acid. Why students this name is? Because this acid is mostly present in ants. This word has been derived from this. The acid is always present in ant, we call as formica. Okay students, so this is the animal students, ant. From ant it is derived, so that is why the common name is what? Formic acid. Okay students, what will be the IUPAC name students? Since this molecule is containing only one carbon, we call as it is the which type of hydrocarbons? So methanol. So students, I have already told E is replaced by OIC, that is OIC. So we call as methanoic acid. Okay students, now students, I have already told all the name of the aldehydes has been derived from carboxylic acid. So here students, again I am explain. This is carbonyl group. Out of 2 valency, 1 valency by hydrogen, and this instead of hydroxyl students I am replacing with hydrogen. Understanding students? So this is the functional group students. Now this you can also represent like this, CHCHO. That is how you are going to name students, since I have already told it is derived from the carboxylic acid. So it is called as formaldehyde. It is because of this aldehyde group students and containing 1 carbon. So it is called as formaldehyde. If you dilute, it is also called as formalin. Most of the organic body we are stored in the formalin. So this is very important compound students. And how you are going to name IBAC system students? So here students, only 1 carbon is there. So we called as, here also it is 1 carbon. So this is called as methanol. We have to replace methane, E of the methane by Al, we call as what? Methanol. So this is the name to second compound students. That is here students, carbonyl 2 valency, 1 valency by hydroxyl group, other valency I am replacing by methyl. Okay students. So in short students, you can also write this compound as CH3 COOH. Okay students. Now what will be the name of this acid students? Common name students, the common name we call as acetic acid. Why students? Because it is coming from vinegar. It is used in vinegar. We call as students acetum. So that is why this name is called as what? Acetic acid. So common name students, mostly common name is derived from vinegar. That is why it is called as acetic acid students. IPAC system students, you have to see the number of carbon. How many carbons are present in this molecule students? So 1 carbon from methyl, other carbon is there in group only. So there is 2 carbons we call as eth. So it is derived from E of the ethane. Now we are going to replace by oic acid. So it is called as, this is ethanoic acid. So students, in common name, this molecule we call as acetic acid, and in IBAC we call as ethanoic acid. Now students, here we are going to see the name of aldehyde students. Out of 2 valency students, 1 valency by hydrogen, it will be always there, other valency I am replacing with methyl. Okay students. Now in common name students, since it is derived from acid, we call it acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde. The compound, this in short we can also write like this students, CH3 and this is CHO. So students, this is acetaldehyde. Since this is the, all these groups is always present at the terminal students, mind well. So but this molecule is containing 2 carbon, we call as acetaldehyde. Now students, IBAC name students, if you want to name this compound students, it is containing 2 carbon, so it is called as ethanol. It has been derived from ethane, so we call as ethanol, Al. Okay students, so this is the name students. So COH. Now here students, if there is a CH2 CH3, sometimes we also call as what? This containing 2 carbons, so we call as C2. How many hydrogen? 5 hydrogen. So this way it is also represented. So what will be the common name of this molecule students? Since it is containing 3 carbon, so it is derived from, it is called as propanoic acid, propionic acid. Why students? Propine means this is the first fat molecule. It is the first, this is the fat. That is why it is called as what? This word is coming from propion. So that is why it is called as propionic acid. Understanding students? So it is the first fat students which is solid in state. So it is called as propionic acid. Understanding students? So now what will be the IBAC name students? Since it is containing total 3 carbon, so we call as propanoic. So this hydrocarbon is containing 3 carbon, so it is derived from propane. So E of the propane I am going to replace by oic. So it is called as pro. So now see the difference students, here OIC is there, here NOIC is there. So this is propanoic acid and this is what? Propionic acid. Understanding students? So this is the IBAC name and this is what? Common name. So see the difference students in IBAC name and common name. So here propionic acid and here it is propanoic acid. Propanoic acid will come in IBAC system and propionic acid will come in common system. Understanding students? Since this is the first fat molecule, that is why it is called as what? Propionic acid. So propionic acid has been derived from the first fat giving molecules. Now students, in aldehyde students, so here students, you have aldehyde group which is attached to CH2 and this is what? CH3. This you can also write how many carbon attached to the aldehyde group, students? 2 carbon, C2 and H5. So this is the structure. You can also write like this, students. In common name, students, since we have derived from carboxylic acid, so it is called as propanaldehyde. Propanaldehyde. So aldehyde word will be there, students. In common name there will be always aldehyde word is there. So since it is derived from propionic acid, so it is called as propanaldehyde. Now in IPAC system, students, since it is containing 3 carbon, so we call as E of the alkene. Now we are going to replace by Al, so it is called as propanal. So this is the name. This way, students, you can name this molecule. So this is the name of aldehyde. So here, students, this is acidic group. It is containing CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay, students. So you can also write in short way how many this. You can also write C3. How many hydrogen, students? When you add, there is a 4 plus 3, that is 7. C3H7 COH. Okay, students. So this is the same molecule, students. So name, since here all are attached in series, so we call as it is normal butyric acid. So common name, students, it is what? N-butyric acid. Why it is called as butyric acid, students? Since it is derived from butter. The name is coming from butter. Understanding that in also it is also called as butyrum. Butyrum. Understanding that is why it is called as N-butyric acid. Understanding the molecule is always butter-like structure, buttering in state. When you see the state of this molecule liquid, students, it is what? Butter in nature. That is why it is called as N-butyric acid. Now what will be the common name, students? IVC name, students. Since this molecule is containing total students, you have to see the carbon. So 3 carbon here, 1 carbon here. So there is a 4 carbon. So this is called as butanoic acid. It is also called as what? Butanoic acid. Butanoic acid. So you can say N-butyric acid, or you can say what? Butanoic acid. So this is the name. This way, students, in examination sometimes they may ask, they will give the IPAC name and you have to write down the structure. Sometimes the structure will be given and you have to write down the name. Now same way, students, in aldehyde also. Here, students, aldehyde group is always present at the corner, students. Now here it is attached to CH2 and CH3. Okay, students. Now in short, you can also write C3H7, and this is what? So this, since it is containing aldehyde group, the name will be always butyraldehyde. Understanding, students? It is called as what? Butyraldehyde. Now what will be the IPAC system, students? Here also there is a 4 carbon, so it is called as butanol. It is nothing but what? Butanol. So this is the way, students, you can name the aldehyde. So this is your acid group, students, which is attached to the this carbon, and this carbon is attached to the CH3 twice. Here also the carbon is what? Here the 2-methyl is attached to this, and to that your carboxylic group is attached. We call as, in common name we call as isobutyric acid. It is called as isobutyric acid. Why, students, is called as iso group? Here methyl, both the groups are same to which your carboxylic acid is attached. That is why it is called as isobutyric acid. It is also called as what? Isobutyric acid. Or you can also, when you say in IPAC system, students, when you see the, students, it is present to, when you see this is carbon is alpha carbon. So sometimes in common name, students, it is also called as alpha methyl and propanoic acid. Since it is also coming in common name, so alpha methyl propionic acid is nothing but isobutyric acid. Understanding, students? Now, students, when you see the IPAC system, students, you have to start the numbering at the carbon number. When you start the giving the carbon number, students, this is carbon number 1, 2, and the 1 will get 3. So, students, at carbon number 2 there will be methyl group, so we call as 2-methyl. It is called as 2-methyl propionic acid. 2-methyl propanoic acid. Understanding, students? Now same way, students, you can name the aldehyde also. So here, students, this is the alpha carbon to whom your CHO aldehyde group is attached. Okay, students, here also we call as alpha. So first we will see the name, students. This is also called as isobutyraldehyde. Since it is here the same methyl groups attached to this carbon, so for that, students, we are using isobutyraldehyde. Now, students, or you can also say alpha methyl propanaldehyde. Alpha methyl propanaldehyde. alpha methyl propanaldehyde is nothing but isobutylaldehyde. Understanding students? Now in common name students we call as 2-methyl propanal. Understanding students? So this way students we have given the 5 molecules. Now one more, if there is an unsaturated acid students present, if acidic group is attached to the unsaturated compound, unsaturated group, say for example students, this is the, if our acidic group is attached to this unsaturated carbon, what will be the name of this compound students? In common name students, since it is we call as acrylic acid. Now IUPAC system students we call as, in IUPAC system we call as, since total this is containing 3 carbon, this whole is containing 3 carbon, we call as prop 2 enoic acid. Okay students, this is then this way students you can name in IUPAC system. Now same compound students, if unsaturated carbon to whom your aldehyde is attached, what will be the name students? In common we call as acrolein. What about IUPAC system students? Since it is containing total 3 carbon, so it is nothing but prop. Carbon number 2 students, you are getting carbon-carbon double bond, so you write prop 2 E in, and you also having aldehyde groups, so we call as enal. So prop 2 enal is nothing but acrolein. Understanding students? Both are same students. So acrolein is nothing but prop 2 enal, and here acrylic acid is nothing but prop 2 enoic acid. Carbon here, your acid group is attached to this unsaturated carbon. Now fill the valency with hydrogen students, CH3, here 1 hydrogen, here will be 1 hydrogen. Now what will be the name of this common name students? Since it is attached to unsaturated carbon, we call as crotenoic acid. In IUPAC system students, how you are going to name? In IUPAC system students, you have to see the total number of carbon. So here total number of carbon is what? 4 carbon. Now students, at carbon number 2 you have double bond. If this is carbon number 1, so at the carbon number 2 you have carbon-carbon double bond, so we call as bute. Total 4 carbons, so we will write bute 2 enoic acid. Bute 2 enoic acid. Understanding students? So which type of acid it is? It is nothing but bute 2 enoic acid. Now students, how you are going to name, if the instead of this aldehyde group, if acidic group aldehyde group is present, so students this is the unsaturated carbon to whom your aldehyde group is attached. Understanding students? Now fill the valency with hydrogen, CH3, 1 hydrogen is required here for tetravalency. Now what will be the common name students? Common name will be crotonaldehyde, we call as crotonaldehyde. IUPAC name of students, you have to start the number, total number of carbon, it is also 4 carbon. This carbon will be always first carbon, second carbon, third and fourth. Now students, at carbon number 2 you have unsaturation, so what will be the name students? It is called as bute 2 enal. Bute 2 enal, and bute 2 enoic acid will be crotenoic acid. If your acidic group is attached to 4 carbon, now fill the valency with hydrogen students. So this is for tetravalency it is required 3 hydrogen, now here it is 2, this is also 2 and this is also 2. So this molecule is containing total 5 carbon, this acid is containing total 5 carbon. So what will be the common name students? This is nothing but N valeric acid. Valeric acid. Since it is, the name will be valeric, if there is a 5 carbon students acid, we call as N valeric acid. Why it is called as valeric students? Because it is coming from plant. A perennial plant is giving this acid. A perennial plant. This is, the acid is always coming from perennial plant. So that is also called as valerian. We in original name it will be what? Valerian. So that is why it is called as N valeric acid. Understanding students? So common name is derived from perennial plant, valerian. That is why it is called as N valeric acid students. Now students, what will be the IUPAC name? For that students, you have to see the total number of carbon. There is a 5 carbon. Now students, since it is containing 5 carbon, we call as pentanoic acid. Simple students. Now same students, if instead of acid it is attached to the aldehyde group students, 1 oxygen is less, that is it is reduced form. So students, we call as CH3, CH2, CH2. Now it is attached to the aldehyde group. Now what will be the common name students? We call as valeraldehyde. Now what will be the IUPAC name students? Instead of pentanoic, because it is containing aldehyde group, we call as pentanal. If students there is a carbon aldehyde group, this is the acidic group students, one more acidic group is present, then what will be the name? Or this sometimes we are representing like this students. This is the same way. Understanding what will be the name, students, common name. If there is a 2 carboxylic group is present, we call as oxalic acid. There is a 2 carboxylic groups are attached successively, we call as oxalic acid. Now students, what will be the IPC name, students? Since this acid is containing 2 carbon, we call as ethane dioic. So it is called as ethane dioic acid. So for that, students, since it is containing 2 carboxylic group, we have to use dioic acid. So ethane dioic acid will be the name of this molecule, students. Now what happens, students, if it is attached to 2 aldehyde groups are present like this, students, CHO, or you can say CHO or CHO. So what will be the common name, students? So common name will be oxaldehyde, or you can also say, students, in common name it is also called as glyxal. This is also called as glyxal. Now students, in IPAC name, students, what it is containing 2 carbon, so we called as ethane diol. So far we have seen the aliphatic type of aldehyde and carboxylic acid. Now we are going to see the aromatic nomenclature of aromatic. Benzene. If your acid is attached to benzene group, carboxylic acid is attached to benzene, we call as, in common name, students, we call as benzoic acid. This acidic group is attached to benzene. Or students, we can also say benzene carboxylic acid. What will be the IPAC name, students? In IPAC system also we call as benzoic, students. This is also called as, this group is attached to benzoic, so it is also called as benzoic acid. Now same way, students, your benzene is there, students, attached to the aldehyde group. So what will be the common name, students? The common name is also called as benzaldehyde. Now what will be the IPAC name, students? The IPAC name will also benzaldehyde, or you can say benzene carbaldehyde. Okay, students, so this way, students, you can name, this is the simplest molecules which is containing benzene. Now what happens, students, if one more type of aromatic acid and aromatic aldehyde that we are going to see, students. So this is the structure, students. Now this is benzoic acid. Now one more group is attached, students, that is called as methyl is also attached. So what will be the common name, students? If there is a methyl is attached to benzoic acid, so in common name, students, we call as, since when you are going to name common name, students, so this will position will orthocarbon, and this is meta, and this is para. So we call as orthotolic acid. Orthotolic acid. We call as what? Orthotolic acid. Now in IPAC name, students, you have to start the numbering. You have to use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, students. At carbon number 2, students, there is a methyl group. So we call as, so 2-methyl benzoic acid is nothing but orthotolic acid. Now students, in aldehyde, students, this is aromatic aldehyde, students. Aromatic aldehyde. Here the methyl is attached. Now what will be the common name, students? In common name we call as orthotoluraldehyde. On IPAC name, students, we call as 2-methyl benzaldehyde. So 2-methyl benzaldehyde is nothing but orthotoluraldehyde molecule. That is 12th molecules that we are going to see, students. Here the aromatic acid, benzoic acid. If there is a, instead of methyl, if there is a hydroxyl group is present. Okay, students, along with a carboxylic acid you have hydroxyl group. So what will be the common name, students? In common name we call as salicylic. Very important molecule, students, salicylic acid. Which type of acid? The now benzoic acid we call as, if it is containing hydroxyl group, we call as salicylic acid. Now what will be the IPAC name, students? IPAC name, students, you have to start the numbering. This is carbon number 1, this is carbon number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is nothing but 2 hydroxy. This is hydroxy group is attached, so 2 hydroxy. At carbon number 2 there is a hydroxyl, so 2 hydroxy benzoic acid. Your parent will be benzoic acid. At carbon number 2 hydroxyl group is attached, so we call as 2 hydroxy benzoic. Same, students, here if there is a benzaldehyde, here the hydroxyl group is there. So what will be the common name, students? If you want to name this molecule, students, you have to call salicylaldehyde. Now what will be the IPAC name, students? IPAC name will be 2 hydroxy benzaldehyde. 2 hydroxy benzaldehyde. If benzene is having 2 carboxylic group side by side, students, so what will be the common name, students? The common name we call as phthalic acid. Here pH will be silence, students, we will read as a phthalic acid. This is very important molecule, students, phthalic acid. So here two acidic group is attached to aromatic ring, so we call as phthalic acid, students. Now what will be the IPAC name, students? For that, students, you have to start the numbering 1 2 3 4 5 6, both the way you can give the numbering, students. This is nothing but benzene 1 dash 2 dicarboxylic acid. So benzene 1,2 dicarboxylic acid is nothing but your phthalic acid. Now students, if benzene is attached by two aldehyde group CHO, and this is also CHO, so what will be the common name, students? We call as phthalaldehyde. Instead of phthalic acid, we call as what? Phthalaldehyde. What will be the IPAC name, students? The IPAC name will be benzene 1, 2 dicarbaldehyde. Benzene 1,2 dicarbaldehyde is nothing but phthalaldehyde. Okay, students, this is a very important organic compound, students. Your carboxylic acid is attached to cyclohexane. Okay, students, any cycle. So what will be the name, students? So name of this compound will be cyclohexyl carboxylic acid. Since it is cyclohexane, it is derived from cyclohexane. One of the hydrogen of the cyclohexane now we are replacing by COH group, so it is also called as. Now what will be the IPAC name, students? Since it is derived from cyclohexane, so it is called as cyclohexane carboxylic acid. Now students, here also, students, if it is attached by aldehyde group CHO, so what will be the name, students? Name will be cyclohexane aldehyde. Now what will be the IPAC name, students? We called as cyclohexane carbaldehyde. So this way I have explained 14 molecules, students. In examination, board examination, they may ask. So vice versa, you have to, sometimes they will give the name of IPAC, you have to write down the structure. Sometimes structure will be given and you have to write the common name as well as what IPAC name. In board examination, they are asking, students, whatever I have provided, from there only they will ask in board examination. If you like my video, please share it, subscribe it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. God bless you.